I'm back with one more lesson from grade 7th English, and today we are going to continue the topic that we have started in our previous video. So we were doing direct and indirect speech. Okay, I have explained you what direct and indirect speech really is, and I have told you about narration, gossiping, everything we have discussed in our previous video, and we have covered your book also. We have seen the definition from your book. I asked you to note down the rules, okay, and the changes in words that we have already done. Now, in this video, what we are going to do, we are going to cover the topic that is still remaining. Along with it, we are going to revise. Okay, we are going to do a revision of all what was explained in the previous lecture. Along with it, we are going to cover the remaining topics. Okay. Apart from it, what we are going to do, we are going to cover the exercises. Okay, exercises we will cover in this video, and in the Google Meet. Okay, one homework, one very important thing, not homework, one note I am giving you, that in your next doubt class, that is tomorrow, in next doubt clearing class, we are going to solve the exercises together. I am going to explain these exercises in our lecture. In the lecture itself, I will explain the exercises, how to do them. I am going to revise the topic of earlier lecture. I am going to start the remaining topics, and we are going to complete the exercises from the book. I am going to give you the example of one or two sentences, then you will easily do them. And I hope that I will drop the message a little early so that you will be prepared with the doubt class, and we are going to cover the exercises that are there in our book, and in the doubt class we are going to take these exercises. Okay, so this is what we are going to have in today's lecture. We are going to do the revision, we are going to do the remaining exercises, we are going to cover the exercises, we are going to cover the remaining topics, we are going to conclude the session. We are going to conclude the topic direct and indirect speech, and when we will meet next, we will start a new topic. So without wasting much time, let's see what is there in your book.
Okay, so direct and indirect speech, we have already covered most of the things in the chapter. Only a few points are remaining, and we are going to complete this, and also we are going to do the exercises. We are going to take the exercises in tomorrow's doubt class also. So let's begin. Firstly, we will see the difference between direct and indirect speech. So we are revising what we have learned in the last video. Direct speech reports or quotes the exact words. Okay, like you're saying, she said that I will go to school. Okay, here she is saying that she said that I will go to school. So here the use of the pronoun I is there. So it is direct way of communication. While indirect speech is also known as reported speech. Okay, she said that she will go to school. Okay, here we have used the word we have used the conjunction that, and we have used the pronoun she. So it is indirect way of communication. It is also known as reported speech because you are reporting what someone has said. Its purpose is to report exactly what was said by someone by using quotation marks. Okay, when we use direct speech, we use the quotation marks. Okay, and the exact words of the speaker are put inside those inverted commas. Okay, quotation marks, inverted commas are the quotation marks. We put the exact speech of the speaker that we are quoting. Okay, as I have told you, narration or direct indirect speech is nothing but just like gossip. You are reporting about someone. It is prominently used in news reporting when you are saying that this incident has happened there or someone has done that. Okay, you are reporting to someone about somebody else. So this is what we call reporting. And when we use the indirect speech, then we don't use the inverted commas. That means we are using our own words. When we are using the inverted commas, the quotation, when we quote someone, you must have heard the word quote. Okay, quotes are there. What are quotes? Quotes are the feelings, the emotions, the words, the speech of a particular person. And when we quote someone, we exactly use the words that are used by that person. Okay, so when we are using the direct way of speech, the direct speech, we quote exactly the words that are spoken by a person, and we put them inside the quotation marks that are the inverted commas. Okay, but on the other hand, when we are using indirect speech, we are using our own words. We are telling what other person has said, but the words are our own. Okay, its purpose is to report on what someone said in the past. Okay, indirect way of speech. Indirect speech, we use our words. We are indirect, we are not direct. In direct speech, we are exactly using the words that are used by a person. It is accompanied by a reporting verb, single phrase or quotative frame. Okay, a reporting verb is used in while using direct speech. Okay, it uses reporting verbs as say, tell, said, talk, etc. I have already given you the rules, in which the rule was very prominent that uh, says to becomes what? Told, like that. Okay, you will keep the verb tense same in the quotations. Okay, while you are using the direct speech, the verb tense will be same. Okay, the change of tense will not take place in while using the direct speech, but in the indirect speech, normally you will change the verb. How you will change the verb? If the reporting verb is in past tense, then the reported speech, sorry, will also change. The tense of the reported speech will also change. For example, if the reporting verb is said, she said, that means said is the reporting verb and it is in past tense. So the speech, reported speech in indirect speech will also be in past tense. She said that she was going to the market. Okay, when you are using in indirect speech, the tense is the tense of the reporting verb is said, that means past tense. Then the reported speech will also be in past tense. How? She said that she is going. No, she said that she was going. Okay, now see some basic rules. Changes in person or pronouns. First person pronoun in reported speech are always changed according to the subject. Okay, according to what the subject is, the first person will be changed. Second person in reported speech always change according to the object. Subject and object is clear to you. Subject, who is doing the action. Object, who is receiving the action. Third person in reported speech are not changed. First person, you are all clear. I, me. Okay, second person, you. Third person, he, she, like that. Changes in verbs. Okay, what are the changes we do in verbs? If the reporting speech is in present tense or future tense, then no change is required. Okay, nothing you need to change if the reporting verb is in if the reporting speech is in future or present tense. This verb could be in any tense, that is present, past or future. For example, take a look, direct speech. He says I am ill. He says that he is ill. Here says is there, then it is in present tense, then the reported speech in indirect speech will also be in present tense. He says I am ill. He says that he is ill. If it would have been he said I am ill, then it will be he said that he was ill. Okay. Now some tenses, changes in tenses. If the reporting verb is in past tense, then these changes will take place from direct to indirect. The reporting speech will change. Present will become past simple. Present continuous will become past continuous. Past simple will become past perfect. That means we are going one tense back. Okay, this is not very important. Now we are going to take a look into the book, your book. What is left we will see. Then we will do the exercises. Okay, so imperative sentences we have. This was left in the last lecture. Imperative sentences are the sentences in which commands or requests have been given. Okay, assertive sentences when we are making any statement. Okay, either negative or positive, that doesn't matter. All the sentences are assertive normally. But imperative sentences are such sentences where we are commanding something, when we are requesting something. How to identify an imperative sentence? An imperative sentence always starts with first form of verb. Okay, first form of verb, play, dance, sing, like that. There is no subject in the imperative sentence. You, the subject you is always hidden in it. Okay, rules: reporting verb and reported speech will be joined by the conjunction to. Okay, the reporting verb and the reported speech will be joined by the verb to. In assertive we were joining it by that. Now in imperative we will join it by the conjunction to. Said or said to will be changed as follows. Said or said to will become ordered or requested. Okay, ordered or requested, because it is the commanding. Okay, said or said to will also may change to advise if the sentence is advising. If you are advising someone in the sentence, then it will change to advised. If you are requesting, then requested. If you are ordering, then ordered. Okay, said or said to will also become suggested. Okay, or let us. That means let us. Suggested means let us. Look at these sentences. The teacher said to the student, get out from the class. Here the teacher is ordering something. The teacher ordered the student to get out from the class. Saroj said to Shreya, please give me your pen for a moment. Saroj requested Shreya to give her pen for a moment. So these are very easy. Okay, nothing much. You have to be very careful that where the request is being made, where the advice is being given, where the suggestion is being given, or where the order has been given. According to that, you have to change said to these verbs. Now we are going to take a look in the exercises and we are going to solve one or two sentences. Then we will discuss the exercise further in our doubt class. Change these sentences from direct speech to indirect. Okay, we are changing the speech from direct to indirect. My uncle said to us, I am reading a novel. Okay, said to will become told. My uncle told us that he was reading a novel. Okay, because the verb is in past tense, so the reporting verb is in past tense, so the reported speech will also change. My uncle told us that he was reading a novel. Ravi says, I am afraid of dog. Here the reporting verb is in present tense, so the tense of the reported speech will not change. Ravi says that he is afraid of dog. Tom asked the gentleman, do you know the way to the bus station? Tom asked the gentleman that, because asked is in past tense, that did he knew the way to the bus station. Okay, like this you have to do. The teacher asked, have you all completed your test? The teacher asked that had they all completed their test. Have will become had and you will become there. Okay, had, you will become they and your will become there. Teacher asked that had they completed their test. Now see the second exercise. Hema told her mother that she was going to school. Now we have to change from indirect to direct. Hema said to her mother, okay, then inverted commas, she is going to school. Hema said to her mother, inverted commas, she is going to school. The chief guest said that he would be visiting us the following day. The chief guest said, inverted commas, he is visiting us the following day. What we make? Tomorrow. The chief guest said, inverted commas, he will be visiting, would be will become will be. Okay, because here we will do the exact opposite. If the sentence is in the past tense, then it will become the present. The chief guest said that he will be visiting us the next day. Okay, the exercise C. Change the following into indirect speech. The teacher said to the students, complete your test within an hour. The teacher told the students that complete their test within an hour. The children said, let us start a new game. Okay. The children said that they should. Okay. Let us becomes should. The children said that they should start a new game. The servant said to the master, let me go home. Okay. The servant asked the master to, okay, here whenever you are making an imperative sentence, you are requesting, the earlier one also, second one also, you will use to. The servant asked the master, or the servant requested the master to let him go home then. Okay, now becomes then. The servant asked or requested rather. Okay, the servant requested the master to let him go home then. The children said, let us start a new game. The children said that they should start a new game. Here you will not use requested because to is not there. Where to is there, then only you will use the commanding verbs. The teacher said to the students, complete your test within an hour. The teacher ordered the students to complete their test within an hour. The servant requested the master to let him go home now or then. Okay. This way you have to do the exercises. Got it? So we today have seen imperative sentences, along with we have seen what we learned in the previous session. We revised it. Direct and indirect speech, we saw the difference between the both, and we did a couple of sentences from the exercises. More we will do in tomorrow's doubt class.
So here our topic, our chapter, direct and indirect speech concludes, and I hope that you have understood every point very minutely. You have learned the rules, you have learned the changes in the words, and you have done the exercises as well. Okay. So if any queries are there, always feel free to ask. You can send me your queries through WhatsApp, or you can call me, and you can ask your queries in the doubt clearing class as well. Okay, so for now I have this much to offer, and we will meet again soon with a new topic in our next class. So I am Aman from DPS Haldwani Lamachowk. You are watching video classes. Thank you so much for watching the lecture.